In a world where chaos reigned and darkness threatened to consume everything, a new era was on the horizon. Picture this: primordial beings clashing in epic battles, the very fabric of existence trembling under their might. It was a time when the Titans ruled, but their reign was about to be shattered. Enter the Olympian Gods, a fierce and determined generation ready to claim their place atop Mount Olympus. As ancient prophecies whispered of their coming, tensions mounted, and alliances shifted. Who would rise to power, and who would fall into obscurity? The stage was set for a legendary conflict that would change the course of myth forever. Imagine the thrill of witnessing Zeus, armed with lightning bolts, challenging Cronus, the titan who swallowed his own children to keep his power. Can you feel the anticipation building? But wait, what about the cunning Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and her role in this divine struggle? Or how about Poseidon, wielding his trident, ready to unleash storms upon the earth? The dynamics of power, betrayal, and destiny are about to unfold in ways you never imagined. Stay tuned as we unravel the intricate tapestry of the Olympians' rise to supremacy. Origin and mythology of the Olympian gods. The origins of the Olympian gods are steeped in rich mythology, beginning with the primordial entities, Uranus, the sky, and Gaia, the earth. These two beings are often seen as the parents of the first generation of divine beings. According to myth, Uranus would cover Gaia completely, leading to a relationship that produced a multitude of offspring, including the Titans. However, this relationship was not without conflict. Uranus, fearing that his children would overthrow him, imprisoned many of them within Gaia. This act of tyranny led to Gaia's resentment, prompting her to conspire with her youngest Titan son, Cronus. Together, they plotted against Uranus, and under Cronus's leadership, the Titans rose against their father, ultimately leading to his downfall. This myth not only illustrates the tumultuous relationships within the divine family but also sets the stage for the power struggles that would define the Pantheon. The genealogy of the gods is complex, with each deity playing a critical role in the unfolding narrative of Greek mythology. After defeating Uranus, Cronus took his place as the ruler of the cosmos. However, fearing a prophecy that foretold his own downfall at the hands of one of his children, Cronus resorted to a brutal practice. He swallowed each of his offspring at birth. This cycle of fear and violence continued until his wife, Rhea, devised a plan to save her youngest child, Zeus. She hid him away in a cave on the island of Crete and gave Cronus a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes instead. This act of deception not only preserved Zeus's life but set in motion the events that would lead to the eventual victory of the Olympians. The Titanomachy, a significant event in Greek mythology, marks the epic battle between the Titans, led by Cronus, and the Olympians, led by Zeus. This monumental conflict lasted for 10 years and was characterized by intense battles and shifting allegiances. The Olympians, having gained the support of the Cyclopes and the Centimanes, monstrous beings with 100 arms, were able to turn the tide against the Titans. The Titans were ultimately defeated and cast into Tartarus, a deep abyss used as a dungeon of torment. This victory not only solidified Zeus's position as the king of the gods but also established the hierarchical structure of the Olympian Pantheon, where each god held dominion over specific aspects of the world. The outcome of the Titanomachy shaped the nature of the gods and their relationships with one another. Zeus, now the supreme deity, became synonymous with authority and justice. His brothers, Poseidon and Hades, were assigned control over the seas and the underworld, respectively. Meanwhile, the remaining Olympians, including Hera, Athena, and Apollo, each carved out their niches within the divine hierarchy. This new order was essential for the Greeks, providing a framework through which they could understand the world around them. The myth served as a means of explaining natural phenomena, human behavior, and the complex relationships that governed both the divine and mortal realms. The stories of creation and the genealogical tales of the gods not only reflect the ancient Greeks' understanding of their world but also their values and beliefs. The battles, betrayals, and alliances among the gods mirror human experiences and emotions, making these myths relatable and timeless. Moreover, they laid the foundation for religious practices and rituals, as the Greeks sought to appease these powerful beings, ensuring their favor and protection. As such, the origins and mythology of the Olympian gods remain a cornerstone of Greek culture, illustrating the interplay between divine narratives and human life. The role of Titanomachy in shaping the Pantheon. The Titanomachy is not merely a tale of conflict. It represents the transition from chaos to order in the Greek mythological landscape. Before the rise of the Olympians, the world was dominated by the Titans, who embodied primordial forces. Their defeat by the Olympians signified a shift towards a more structured and civilized pantheon. This victory allowed the Olympian gods to assume roles that aligned with the values of the ancient Greeks, such as justice, wisdom, and harmony. The restructuring of the divine hierarchy also reflected the societal changes occurring in ancient Greece, where city-states began to establish their own governance and order. The aftermath of the Titanomachy saw the Olympians not only establishing their dominance but also defining their relationships with one another. Zeus, as the leader, emphasized the importance of mutual respect and collaboration among the gods. This new dynamic was crucial, as it allowed for a more interconnected pantheon. For instance, Zeus and Hera, despite their tumultuous relationship, were often portrayed as the ideal divine couple, representing marriage and family. Such portrayals resonated with Greek society, where familial bonds were highly valued. Additionally, the cooperation among the gods during the Titanomachy fostered a sense of community and shared purpose, which was essential for maintaining the stability of the cosmos. The struggles faced by the Olympians during the Titanomachy also provided a narrative of resilience and determination. Each of the gods had to confront their fears and limitations to claim their rightful place in the pantheon. This theme of overcoming adversity is a central tenet of Greek mythology, inspiring generations to embrace challenges in their own lives. The stories of bravery and sacrifice during the Titanomachy not only served as entertainment but also as moral lessons, encouraging individuals to strive for greatness and uphold their responsibilities. Moreover, the Titanomachy reinforced the concept of divine justice, a critical aspect of Greek religion. The victory of the Olympians was seen as a triumph of good over evil, where tyranny was vanquished and order was restored. This notion of justice resonated deeply within Greek society, where the ideals of fairness and retribution were paramount. The gods became symbols of these values, and their stories served to remind the people of the importance of righteousness and the consequences of hubris. In this way, the Titanomachy contributed significantly to the moral framework that guided the lives of the ancient Greeks. In summary, the Titanomachy was a pivotal event that shaped the structure and relationships within the Olympian pantheon. It marked the transition from a chaotic world ruled by the Titans to a more harmonious existence under the leadership of Zeus and the Olympians. The lessons learned from this conflict continue to influence cultural narratives, emphasizing the importance of justice, resilience, and the interconnectedness of the divine. The stories of the Titanomachy remain a vital part of Greek mythology, illustrating the complex interplay between power, morality, and the human experience. The importance of myths in ancient Greek culture. In ancient Greek culture, myths served as the foundation of understanding the world and the divine. These narratives were not mere stories, they were integral to the social fabric of Greek life. Myths provided explanations for natural phenomena, human behavior, and the mysteries of existence. They were a way for the Greeks to make sense of their environment, reflecting their values, fears, and aspirations. This cultural significance of myths can be seen in how they were interwoven with daily life, influencing various aspects such as governance, education, and community gatherings. The religious practices of the Greeks were heavily influenced by these myths. Temples dedicated to gods were often built on sites that were central to mythological narratives, reinforcing the connection between the divine and the physical world. Rituals, sacrifices, and festivals were designed to honor the gods, reflecting the belief that the divine had a direct impact on human affairs. For example, the Eleusinian mysteries were religious rites celebrating the myth of Demeter and Persephone, symbolizing the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Such practices underscored the importance of maintaining a good relationship with the gods, as it was believed that their favor was crucial for prosperity and well-being. Furthermore, myths played a crucial role in education, teaching moral lessons and cultural values to the younger generations. Through tales of heroism, betrayal, love, and vengeance, children learned about virtues such as courage, loyalty, and justice. These stories promoted a sense of identity and community, as shared myths and values helped to unify the diverse city-states of Greece. The oral tradition of storytelling ensured that these narratives were passed down, adapting over time yet retaining their core messages. The influence of these myths extended beyond religion and education. They also shaped the arts and literature of the time. Poets and playwrights drew inspiration from these narratives, creating works that would resonate with their audiences. The epic poems of Homer, for instance, not only entertained but also served as a reflection of cultural ideals and the human experience. The myths thus functioned as a lens through which the Greeks explored their understanding of life, morality, and the cosmos. In summary, the myths of the Olympian gods were not just ancient stories, they were vital components of Greek identity and culture. Their importance can be seen in religious practices, education, the arts, and the overall worldview of the ancient Greeks. This rich tapestry of mythology helped shape the moral and ethical framework of society, influencing generations and leaving a lasting legacy that still resonates in modern culture. Characterization and attributes of Olympian gods. The Olympian gods are a captivating assembly of deities, each possessing distinct characteristics, attributes, and realms of influence. At the helm of this pantheon stands Zeus, the king of the gods, who governs the sky and wields the thunderbolt as his primary weapon. Zeus embodies authority, justice, and power, often depicted as a regal figure with a robust physique. He is not only a figure of law and order but also a complex character, known for his numerous romantic escapades and the resulting offspring, which often reflect the intertwining of human and divine realms. Hera, the queen of the gods and sister to Zeus, represents marriage and family. She is often portrayed as a majestic woman, wearing a crown and holding a scepter, symbolizing her authority and protective nature. While she is revered for her commitment to family, Hera is also known for her jealousy and vengeful reactions to Zeus's infidelities. This duality makes her a compelling figure within the mythology, illustrating the complexities of relationships and the struggles of maintaining loyalty in a world rife with temptation. Poseidon, the god of the sea, earthquakes, and horses, is another significant Olympian. Often depicted with a trident, Poseidon embodies the unpredictable nature of the ocean. His character reflects both the nurturing and destructive aspects of water, making him a vital deity for sailors and fishermen. Poseidon's temperament can be fierce, and he is known for his temperamental nature, which can lead to both calamity and bounty, symbolizing the duality of nature itself. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, warfare, and crafts, is a figure of intelligence and strategy. Born from Zeus's head, she represents the intellectual aspect of combat rather than brute force. Often depicted with an owl and wearing a helmet, Athena symbolizes wisdom and insight, guiding heroes like Odysseus in their quests. Her character emphasizes the importance of knowledge, strategy, and diplomacy in overcoming challenges, contrasting with the more aggressive attributes often associated with other deities. Finally, Apollo, the god of the sun, music, and prophecy, embodies beauty and harmony. He is often portrayed as a youthful, athletic figure, symbolizing the ideal of physical and artistic excellence. Apollo's dual role as a bringer of light and a harbinger of disease highlights the complexities of his character. Through music and poetry, he influences the arts and the human experience, serving as an inspiration for creativity and expression in Greek culture. Artistic representation of Olympian gods. The artistic representation of the Olympian gods in ancient Greece was a reflection of their attributes, stories, and the values they embodied. Sculptures and paintings served not only as depictions of these deities but also as expressions of human creativity and the cultural significance of the gods in everyday life. For instance, the iconic statue of Zeus at Olympia, created by the sculptor Phidias, was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This colossal statue showcased Zeus's grandeur and power, capturing the essence of his dominion over gods and men. In addition to sculpture, vase painting was a prominent medium for illustrating myths and divine narratives. Many vessels featured intricate scenes depicting gods in various activities, from battles to banquets. These artworks provided insight into how the Greeks viewed their deities and their interactions with mortals. The scenes often emphasized the gods' human-like qualities, showcasing their emotions, relationships, and moral dilemmas. This anthropomorphic representation made the gods more relatable, illustrating their influence over human lives and the natural world. Moreover, the portrayal of gods was not limited to grand monuments. Everyday objects also featured divine imagery. Household items, such as pottery and jewelry, often included symbols associated with specific deities. For example, items dedicated to Athena might feature the owl, while those honoring Poseidon would display dolphins or tridents. These symbols served as reminders of the gods' presence and their importance in the lives of the ancient Greeks, reinforcing the connection between the divine and the mundane. Literature also played a crucial role in the artistic representation of the Olympian gods. Epic poetry, such as the works of Homer and Hesiod, painted vivid pictures of these deities, detailing their attributes, relationships, and adventures. The descriptions in these texts inspired visual artists, allowing them to create works that captured the essence of the myths. The interplay between literature and visual arts enriched the cultural landscape of ancient Greece, as stories were not only told but also seen and felt. In summary, the artistic representation of Olympian gods in ancient Greek culture showcased their attributes and significance in myriad forms. Sculptures, paintings, and everyday objects reflected the values and beliefs of the society, providing a deeper understanding of the gods and their roles in the lives of the Greeks. This rich artistic tradition contributed to the enduring legacy of Greek mythology, influencing subsequent generations and cultures around the world. The role of gods in everyday life of ancient Greeks. The gods of Olympus were not just distant figures residing on Mount Olympus, they played an integral role in the everyday lives of the ancient Greeks. Worshipping these deities was a part of daily existence, and their presence permeated various aspects of society. Temples were constructed in their honor, and rituals were performed to seek their favor. The Greeks believed that the gods influenced everything from the weather to personal fortunes, making it essential for them to maintain a good relationship with these divine beings. Adoration often took the form of prayers, offerings, and sacrifices, which were believed to appease the gods and ensure their blessings. Festivals were a significant part of this relationship, marking the calendar with numerous celebrations dedicated to specific deities. For example, the Pantheon honored Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and included athletic competitions, musical performances, and grand processions. Such events not only reinforced communal bonds among the citizens but also served as a reminder of their shared beliefs and values. During these festivals, the lines between the divine and the mortal blurred, as participants sought to connect with the gods through communal worship and shared experiences. Moreover, the gods were often invoked in matters of morality and ethics. Their stories served as cautionary tales that guided the behavior of the Greeks. Characters in myths exemplified virtues such as bravery, wisdom, and justice, while others illustrated the consequences of hubris and disobedience. By adhering to these moral lessons, the Greeks sought to emulate the qualities that the gods valued, thereby aligning themselves with the divine order. This moral framework was not just theoretical, it influenced decisions in personal relationships, governance, and even warfare. The presence of gods in daily life also manifested in the household. Domestic shrines, known as hermae, were common in many homes, where families would pay homage to household deities and ancestors. These small altars served as a constant reminder of the divine presence and were places to offer thanks for blessings received. Such practices reinforced the idea that the gods were not only powerful beings but also guardians of the home and family, which was central to Greek identity. Lastly, the role of the gods extended beyond individual worship. It encompassed the entire polis, or city-state. Each city often had its patron deity, which influenced civic identity and pride. For instance, Athens was deeply tied to Athena, whose virtues were reflected in the city's cultural and political achievements. This connection fostered a sense of belonging and loyalty among citizens, as their lives were intertwined with the narratives and attributes of their gods. Thus, the gods were not merely figures of mythology, they were central to the cultural fabric of Greek society, shaping everyday life in profound and lasting ways. Cultural impact and legacy of the Olympian gods. The myths of the Olympian gods have left an indelible mark on Western literature, serving as both inspiration and foundation for countless works throughout history. Ancient poets like Homer and Hesiod utilized these myths to explore themes of heroism, morality, and human experience. Homer's Iliad and Odyssey are prime examples of how divine influence shapes the fate of mortals, illustrating the interplay between human actions and the will of the gods. These epic narratives not only entertained but also provided insights into Greek values and beliefs, making them a crucial part of the cultural canon. As literature evolved, the influence of these myths continued to resonate. The dramatists of ancient Greece, such as Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, incorporated divine themes into their tragedies, exploring the complexities of fate, free will, and the human condition. The characters often found themselves at odds with the gods, reflecting the struggle for agency in a world governed by divine forces. This literary tradition laid the groundwork for future storytelling, encouraging writers to delve into the themes of conflict, morality, and the consequences of one's choices. In the Renaissance, a revival of interest in classical antiquity brought the Olympian gods back into the cultural spotlight. Artists and writers drew inspiration from these ancient myths, reinterpreting them through the lens of contemporary thought. The works of Shakespeare, for example, often echoed themes found in Greek mythology, showcasing the timelessness of these narratives. The portrayal of gods and heroes in art, literature, and theater during this period highlighted the enduring legacy of the Olympians, as they became symbols of human aspiration and the complexities of existence. The presence of Olympian gods in modern culture is also evident in contemporary media, including film, literature, and visual arts. From Hollywood blockbusters like Clash of the Titans to best-selling novels like Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series, the narratives of these ancient deities continue to captivate audiences. These adaptations often reimagine the gods in new contexts, making them relatable to today's viewers while preserving the core themes of power, conflict, and morality. This ongoing fascination illustrates the resilience of these myths and their ability to adapt to changing cultural landscapes. The impact of the Olympian gods extends beyond literature and the arts. It has influenced philosophy, psychology, and even politics. The archetypes represented by the gods have been examined through various lenses, offering insights into human behavior and societal norms. The exploration of these myths has contributed to discussions on identity, ethics, and the nature of existence, reaffirming their relevance in both ancient and modern contexts. Thus, the legacy of the Olympian gods is a testament to their profound influence on human thought and culture across the ages. #The relevance of Olympian myths in cultural identity in the ancient Greek world. The myths of the Olympian gods were not merely stories, they were a vital component of cultural identity and religious practice. These narratives shaped the collective consciousness of the Greek people, providing a shared framework through which they understood their place in the world. The gods personified natural forces and human experiences, allowing the Greeks to make sense of their lives and the complexities of existence. Their stories were woven into the very fabric of society, influencing art, literature, and religious ceremonies. The Olympian gods also played a crucial role in establishing a sense of unity among the diverse city-states of Greece. While each polis had its unique customs and traditions, the shared pantheon of gods provided a common cultural heritage. Festivals, such as the Olympic Games, celebrated this unity, as participants from various city-states came together to honor Zeus and compete in athletic events. Such gatherings fostered a sense of camaraderie and pride, reinforcing the idea of a collective Greek identity that transcended regional differences. The myths of the Olympians were also instrumental in shaping religious practices and rituals. Temples dedicated to specific gods served as focal points for worship, where citizens sought divine favor and guidance. The elaborate rituals performed in these sacred spaces reinforced the connection between the divine and the mortal, emphasizing the importance of maintaining harmony with the gods. This relationship was perceived as essential for the prosperity and well-being of the community, highlighting the intertwining of religion and identity in ancient Greece. Moreover, the stories of the gods provided moral and ethical guidance for the Greeks. The narratives often included lessons on virtue, justice, and the consequences of one's actions, serving as a moral compass for individuals and society. By adhering to these teachings, the Greeks sought to align themselves with the values embodied by their deities, reinforcing a sense of shared responsibility and ethical conduct. This moral framework was not static, it evolved alongside societal changes, reflecting the dynamic nature of Greek identity. Finally, the relevance of these myths extends beyond ancient Greece, as their influence can be seen in the cultural identities of subsequent civilizations. The stories of the Olympian gods have been adopted, adapted, and reinterpreted throughout history, resonating with diverse cultures and beliefs. This enduring legacy speaks to the universal themes of human experience that these myths encapsulate: love, conflict, ambition, and the quest for understanding. In this way, the Olympian gods remain a vital part of the broader narrative of human culture, continuing to inspire and inform our understanding of identity and existence. As we've journeyed through the rise of the Olympian gods, it's clear that their stories are not just ancient tales, they're reflections of our very own human experiences. From Zeus's relentless quest for power to Athena's wisdom and courage, these deities embody the complexities of life itself. But what lessons can we draw from their triumphs and failures? Consider the struggles of Hades, who rules the underworld, a reminder that every rise has its shadows. How do you confront your own challenges? Are you more like the ambitious Hermes, always on the move, or do you resonate with the steadfastness of Demeter, nurturing life even in adversity? These myths invite us to explore our own paths and decisions. As you reflect on the Olympians, think about how their influences shape not only our stories but also our identities. What would you ask Zeus if you had the chance? How would you approach a dilemma with Athena's wisdom? Remember, the tales of the gods are timeless, echoing through the ages. So, keep questioning, keep exploring, and let these myths inspire your own epic journey. What will your story be? Stay curious, and join us next time as we delve deeper into the myths that shape our world.